What's up guys, welcome back to Astroneer. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to use the auto extractors to make an auto mine. So this can be completely unattended and you can put it anywhere in your world. And I'm also going to show a train system so that you can transport these resources automatically to wherever your base is. I use this in my own adventure worlds and it's been super useful for me for getting a whole bunch of resources. So for this mine setup I'm going to be doing it on an Astronium node. A lot of people are sort of confused about where Astronium is located. You can find it on any planet. It's the same amount on every single planet. It's always in the closest layer to the core. It's just in these little nodes. They're kind of glowing, kind of iridescent. You're going to want to find a big one that's preferably on a wall. And you'll see in just a bit, it's a lot easier for the auto arms to grab resources off of them when you place them on a wall. Now there's going to be a little green bar on the side of your auto extractor. This only appears when you place it on top of a node, and it just displays how long it's going to be able to run until you have to pick it up and place it back down. So basically the larger green bar that you have, you can leave it unattended for longer. And you can move it around if you're not getting the full bar. If it's generally like full bars wherever you place it, that's going to be a really great node to set up. I'm just going to real quick make a platform here right in front of the node. Make sure that it's at a good enough height where your arms can grab all of the resources. So you notice on these auto extractors it has two slots at the top where you can place a medium-sized object. If you'd like, you can put an RTG there and that'll power about half of it. These take 8 units of power, so if you want to perfectly power it, you're going to need 8 of these QT RTGs on top. But I know obviously in adventure mode those are going to be hard to come by, but if you want a perfect setup, that's probably going to be what you need. If not, it's totally okay. You can run on half power and you can even connect it to an external source of power. But since we're going to be using a lot of these, it'll be a lot easier just to have it fully powered and you can just place it anywhere and not worry about the cables. So I've been talking about auto arms, and next thing we're going to do is make that happen. So we're going to put an auto arm down here on top of this large platform B. We can set it up so that it grabs the resources off of the auto extractor. And then we'll put a large resource canister on top. And you'll notice we have an RTG at the back. Now all you need to do is set your filter and then turn your auto arm as well as your auto extractor both on. This is the most fundamental setup. So if you want to stop here, you totally can. But I'm going to make this a whole lot better. So first thing we're going to do is add a bunch more auto extractors. This is really going to up our output and it'll let us make a whole lot more resources. So you can see at this point, if you're only using single RTGs, then you're going to have to connect all of these auto extractors up with cables, and then you have to wire that to an external power source. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add trains to this. So I just put a train station down, and we're going to modify this a little bit. I'm going to take off this large resource canister and put it onto the platform, and then there's just going to be an extra auto arm that'll be placing resources into that canister. So if we set up another station here just to sort of pretend that this is our base, now we can build a rail car that'll take the resources to our base. So I'm just going to start off with the rail car, and then I'm going to put 2 of these medium resource silos onto it. And then I attached the storage sensor to the rail car. I'm going to set it to full or empty, and then I'm going to wire it to the 2 medium silos as well as the rail car itself. What this is going to do is once it senses that the medium silos are full, it's going to send a signal to start the rail car, and then it'll send it to the other station where we'll have an unloader system, and that'll take all of the resources out of the medium silos. Once that happens, it'll send it back to the mine where it can be filled up again. Now we have this large resource canister on the mine side that'll allow it to fill up even when the cart's at the other station. So I noticed that it was a little bit slow and also just wasn't lined up with this platform, so I added a rail engine. Now our next step is we're going to build a unloading station over on this side. We'll be placing 2 auto arms on the station here, and those will be grabbing the resources from the medium storage canisters. And then we'll add our filters, and then we'll use an extra large platform A to store 2 large resource canisters. Now once you enable the output and turn everything on, it's going to start unloading. Real quick, I'd like to thank John Cunningham for suggesting this idea. He recently commented in one of my live streams, so thanks for giving me the idea. If you want to see a specific video in the future, you can join my Discord and ask me there. You leave it in the comments, or you could join my Patreon, and I'll definitely see it there. Once the train makes it back to the mine, it'll start automatically filling it up. You just have to make sure that your large resource canister has its output enabled. I noticed that some of my auto extractors weren't actually getting harvested by the auto arms, so I just made a couple more and I placed them around so that they were able to reach them. And I added some additional power because I noticed that the arms were going a little bit slow, and also the trains need some power too. Overall, this is a really cool setup that you guys can make. It makes it a lot easier to get a whole bunch of resources without much work at all. In my adventure world, I made a bunch of these stations across the world. I would visit them periodically to get resources. This is definitely a better system than that. It brings them all to your base, so it's a lot easier doing this. I made a video on making a train with multiple large resource canisters previously. It's a pretty complicated setup and a bit impractical. And also in my adventure world, I have a train setup similar to this, but it's also really complicated and it doesn't really work that well. So I made a couple videos on those previously, but I just wanted to update this and make sure that I improved the design, and this is definitely a lot better than what I've had previously. If you haven't noticed as well, there's no music in this video. Let me know if you guys like the background music or if it seems a little bit too quiet without it. I just figured I'd try something new. I've been experimenting a little bit with streaming too. Recently I just did a speedrun stream, so definitely keep your eye out for future streams. And also I want to branch out into a couple different games, so if you guys have any games that you really want to see, leave them in the comments below, and I'll make some absolutely disastrous creations in those. I know there's a lot of people on console who want to switch to PC. If you guys are interested in my setup, I've linked it in the description below. That'll help support the channel. Patreon's in the description, Discord's in the description. Thanks for watching.